Okay, it says we're live, but I still see orange on my screen. Nope, I think we just went live. Hey guys, hope we're coming through loud and clear. Hopefully someone will let me know immediately if audio is not coming through for some reason. We've got our 13 Days of Christmas live stream today. We actually weren't planning on doing one of these, and then Austin said something to me last week, and we went back, and sure enough, we normally do one, so we decided to toss one together. We had some last-minute difficulties, so as you can see, I have a chair, but no chairmate, plus I'm sitting on the other side, which is the commander's chair, so I'm now the new Austin. But Austin's in chat. He's going to go ahead and respond to some questions. We've got his brother Dylan coming in at around 3:30. So ask your technical meat questions now. We'll save them up, and when he gets in here, we'll discuss that. Dylan is the one who has his degree in food science. He is a very smart kid, especially when it comes to anything meat processing. Been in the industry his entire life, been making things his entire life. So, I mean, you can't ask for somebody that'd be much better to have around and willing to help. Speaking of that, he has determined a new way for us to try making even more tender jerky. So we are going to get on that this week. So I started a giveaway over on the right side of the page. If you're on desktop, if you're on your phone, find the view as desktop button, and then you should be able to enter at waltonsinc.com/live. We're going to draw 5 winners who will win a bag of that jerky. Plus, I will let them select a sausage, snack stick, jerky, whatever bag of seasoning from Excalibur that they want, and I'll send that along. And if they don't do really much meat processing, I'll let them choose a couple of Excalibur shakers instead. So for you Meatgistics fans out there, we're obviously going to be a while till we have another one of our Thursday live streams. We will not be here next Thursday, and we will not be here the following Thursday. So you get a little break from me. I guess people are seeing a lot more of me, and that can be a good or bad thing from time to time. But one of the things that we are starting to push more on Meatgistics is we want people to use the app that Austin made. It's just a great way for us to be able to get in contact with you guys without being too obtrusive. So if you go right now, it's only available for the Android, but hopefully soon we'll have one for iOS. So the first thing, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. We're happy that you're here with us. For a small thank you for being such awesome, loyal customers and letting 2020 have a bright spot, which would be Walton's. We have a coupon code for you, and that coupon code is going to be, did I write that down or do I have to go? Nope. Yep, it is 13 days 10. That's going to get you 10% off non-sale items at waltonsinc.com. It does cap out at $100. So if you're, buy up to $1,000, you'll get the full 10% off. Buy above $1,000, you're still only going to get the 100 off. But 13 days 10, and I'm putting that in chat right now. And it's 10% off non-sale items and capped at 100. This is good for each customer to use one time. After it's been used by you, it won't be good for you to use again, but everyone else can use it one time. For the people who have already gone to the App Store on Android and downloaded the Meatgistics app, there will be, how did that happen? We're having a little bit of a technical, even that's weird. Patrick has done some weird things with cameras. He stepped out of the room and all of a sudden it started changing. So I think we might be, that's London, that's that one. It's showing on this camera over here.
Oh, this one?
Nope. All the way over.
That one?
That one.
Yes.
Yes.
I switched over because
Oh,
this one
okay.
popped in on you.
Oh, so that was on that one?
Yeah.
No, sorry about that, guys. I don't have any memory of where I was whatsoever. We were talking about thank you. It's 13 days. But for those of you who've already gotten the app, we will be sending out another message a little bit later today that will have a special coupon code. Now, if it was good for iOS 2, I would leave it where it's just going to be that. But towards the end of the podcast, we'll give out that message that coupon to everybody as well. The one that is 13 days 10, I made that good for 120 days. So you guys can keep on to that and use this other coupon code that we'll be giving a little bit later for your, whatever purchase you're making for Christmas. I really, really can't believe Christmas is here this year. 2020 has been such a insane year that everything's sneaking up. It just hits you out of left field. But we are doing the best we can. So you might see I have a few vacuum sealers in front of us. Now these are interesting. They are prototypes of something that we will be carrying. We are going to have our own series of vacuum sealers and vacuum bags. It's just too difficult to rely on other vendors right now. It's become impossible. We've really struggled with stockouts, as Brett had talked about on a podcast. It is our biggest challenge of the year. So there will be 3 styles of chamberless vacuum bags. You have the one, well, let me just point to it. That one will be the most expensive. It's more in line with what people are used to see. It's got a start and seal button on the handle, which is absolutely awesome. So you can just do everything one-handed. The handle doesn't lock in, so you do have to press down on the lid initially until the little vacuum chamber in there forms a seal. And once it does that, no problems whatsoever. The next one down, I think, is my favorite at this point. First of all, it's got a really satisfying lock. Like, that's a good feeling mechanical action. It doesn't feel cheap or plastic at all, and it locks it in nice and tight. Then we've also got this gauge right here, so you can see what percentage or what bars you are at for sealing. So that's a nice feature, and it works fairly quickly. Then the one all the way down at the end, again, has a nice handle on it that seals it automatically. That for a economy style vacuum sealer, which is what that one will definitely be, priced at, does a really good job and feels really well built. We had an option between that one and another one, but we went with that one, even though we had to buy a lot more of them because they just seemed to be higher quality, just really well built. We enjoyed it. So we'll vacuum seal some stuff with those later just to show everybody that they're working. But yeah, so that is the vacuum sealers. We'll be looking for those to, I don't know, hopefully the beginning of next year. Hopefully we'll have them by then, but everything's so crazy right now. Who knows? Could be a little bit longer than that. What we do know is that we are finally getting some pellet grills that we can sell online. So I am absolutely stoked about this. I am buying the very first one we get in here. I've been using my Green Mountain grill for 5 years now, and it's not necessarily on its last leg. I say that because I'm giving it to Patrick. I don't want him to feel like he's getting some like used and abused thing, but it's kind of on its last leg. So I'm looking forward to this. It has awesome reviews. It's got really cool gadgets is the wrong word. It's got really cool features. But what might be more interesting to some of you is we're also getting a vertical smoker that's pellet fed. So that would be like our PK100, just if it was pellet fed instead of sawdust. I should be careful there. When I say it's like the PK100, it's not the PK100. It's not going to have the same insulation foam. This is more aimed at the retail market. PK is really at that weird, extremely high-end retail or like small test batch commercial stuff. I can work in either one. This one is definitely more aimed at retail. But so we will have a vertical smoker that we can sell to the average person so they can do snack sticks, summer sausage, bacon, pork butts, whatever they want in that. Plus, we will have a pellet grill combo, grill and smoker that you can use for doing everything else. It's also one of the cool features is there's this little thing called a sear box that you can put on the side. So that runs off of propane, so you can get that super hot. So my reverse sears now, I'm going to cut down the amount of time it's going to take and hopefully make even better steaks, although I don't honestly know if that is possible. I've perfected the art of the reverse sear, especially using Walton's Ultimate Steak Seasoning. Patrick, what was that? We have vendors send us products more often. Well, not all that often, but pretty often. And one of them was a seasoning company, and I opened up his steak seasoning. It did smell good, so I decided to take it home, and I had to try it on one of my steaks instead of the Waltons. Now, I'm obviously biased. I mean, I work here. I very much enjoy this company, but that is the best steak seasoning. It just is exactly what I want a steak seasoning to taste like. It's not sugary or sweet. This was more like a barbecue seasoning, but it said steak and brisket on it, so...
Talking about the most recent ones we just had?
Yes.
I don't remember the name of that.
Yeah. No, I do. I don't say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But let's just quick run through chat, and lots of people saying Merry Christmas. Glad you could be here, Nick. Daniel Sabulski's back again. I believe Daniel's won at least twice. Plus, I feel like I saw his name on the Pass It On Outdoor Mentors shotgun winning. That might not be right, but I feel like I did. To the right screen is chat. Yeah, Dale, if you're watching at waltonsinc.com/live, you can actually scroll down the page a little bit, and you'll see the chat and then 3 buttons. And what I like to do is I pop out chat. So when I'm looking at my screen, all I see is one big box of chat. And then if I want to watch the video or something for some reason, I can flip back over. But I generally get sick of looking at myself. So... And we have the lovely orange Walton's Christmas tree, which just came out last week. We literally put it away in November, maybe October. But yeah, it was up all summer long. We took it down only to put it right back up. Christmas spirit just won't die. So, are we not going to carry it? I don't know what you mean, Monique.
We need to get some orange Walton Santa hats so we can get really in the spirit. Uh-oh.
I don't know. That sounds controversial. I think we should stick with just this classic Santa hat.
Red and white.
Yeah.
You can even have Walton's printed across the white band, or Meatgistics, because Meatgistics has kind of red.
Oh, I don't hate that. Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
Custom printed Santa hats. Although I think Austin will attack me if I order one more style of hat or anything.
Well, maybe we should do like a masks before we do like a Santa hat.
A mask?
Yeah, like
No,
face
hopefully that all
masks.
goes away.
How about
Or like the headbands, ones that you can wear for hunting, like
Yeah, that's
what I'm
better.
talking about?
Yeah, the gaiters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The gators that like could potentially be a mask as well.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad
we
idea.
need orange stainless steel canisters for everything. So
Stainless steel canisters?
yeah,
What do you mean?
No, orange. We need them to be orange tinted.
Okay.
All the metal things we carry. Why not?
All the metal things we carry.
Yeah.
Like-
The
like the
stuffers, the
stuffers and
grinders.
stuff?
Yeah, let's make them orange.
I don't think so.
All right, you're anti.
With everybody's kitchen.
Is anti-Waltons.
Think about the women here. They don't want their kitchens.
All right.
orange.
We'll make it an eggshell then.
Let's see how many people have signed up, and we will draw our first winner for seasoning and for some of this jerky that I have not made yet. I have no idea how this is going to come out. So generally, our process for tender jerky is we slice it up into about a 1/4 inch thick, We add the seasoning, the cure, and then we add 18% of the product's weight in brown sugar, which if you've ever seen it is disgusting. And then 20% the product's weight in water, and then we vacuum tumble it and go right to the smoker. We're going to add 2 new steps to this. We're going to try running it through a tenderizer first, then we're going to vacuum tumble it, and then we're going to let it sit still in that canister, still under a vacuum for a day, 2 days. Then we're going to try and smoke it and see if that gets it a little bit more of the texture we're looking for. There are other things we will try if we don't get the exact texture we want, but we're hoping using a tenderizer and then letting it sit in that whatever solution isn't totally picked up, and let it just keep breaking down the muscle fibers gives us more of the tender quality that we're looking for. Because honestly, tender jerky is just so good. So anything we can do to make it more tender, I'm in on. All right, drawing a winner. This is for a bag of that delicious yet to be made jerky and a bag of seasoning. We will draw more winners than just this, but the first winner, and just shout out so we know you're here. If not, we'll go on to the next one, is Ronald Fensky. Ronald. Yeah, he was, Patrick.
See, Austin wants orange stuff.
Okay. Well, you two can get together on that. London and I will...
We'll split the profits.
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right, so Ronald, let us know if you're here. I had a bag, a whole Santa bag up here, and I was going to lift it and say, like, I have one more thing in my bag. 13 days of Christmas, guys, we kept things on sale, put things on sale as much as we could, but stock is an issue in 2020. But I do have one thing left that I can do a good discount on. And I'm going to do that for the next 10 people who, once I get this done, who buy a Walton's 8-inch slicer. It's usually $279.99. I'll make it $229.99 for the next 10 people who buy it today. If 10 people don't buy it by the end of the day, it's going back to regular price. But I will post a link directly to that slicer because there are more than one now, and it can get confusing. I haven't seen, but are people, are there any good meat questions out there, guys? Have you seen anything that's interesting as far as meat? Okay. For anyone who does have a meat question, please let us know now. We'll be able to give Dylan a little bit of heads up, and maybe even let him prepare a little bit of what he's wanting to talk about. Yes, that is it. Okay, so it's the 8-inch meat slicer. It is going to be on sale for $229.99.
Ronald's here.
12.20. He is?
Yep.
Cool. 12.21. 2020. But that does bring me to another thing we're wanting to do here, and it's something we normally do during the big Monday live stream. But what is it that you guys want to see a quick sale on? Something maybe that we don't normally put on sale. I can't guarantee that we can do anything you'd ask for, but we can definitely see if we can. And if we do have enough of them, we will put them on some sort of sale.
You know what I want to see? I want to see people guess John's favorite Christmas movie.
Ooh.
I think that
Christmas song.
Okay. Song and or movie. Put them in the chat below, and we'll see if we can give a prize to someone who nails it.
So Mark Colo's saying, why not make jerky using ground meat in a jerky shooter? Any reason against? So, no. I mean, ground and form jerkies, a lot of people make it. It's a good way. Sometimes you get those little pieces of your deer that aren't going to slice well. It's a good way to use it. The taste isn't going to be as strong. So when you're talking about a jerky seasoning, the best way I can explain this is the jalapeno jerky, summer sausage, and snack stick seasoning. The summer sausage and the snack stick both weigh about 1.5 pounds, and that's enough to do 25 pounds of meat. The jalapeno jerky seasoning weighs almost exactly half of what the summer sausage and snack stick weigh. That's because that's just designed to be a topical. It's designed to sit on top of the meat, so you're experiencing more of it as you bite into it. The summer sausage and snack stick is designed to be ground up and put in, so there has to be more of it. Now, it's not always twice as much. The jalapeno just happens to be that. So you may want to use more seasoning per pound of meat if you're going to do ground and formed jerky, if you're looking for a stronger taste. So I saw some question on hog casings. All right. I bought a hank of hog casings. How easy is it to just use a few for doing a small batch and saving the rest down the road? It's, super easy. Just pull out, leave the rest in the bag in that salt solution. My recommendation is, even though they're a couple dollars more expensive, the tubed hog casings just make all the difference in the world. They come in one bag. They're already on a plastic sleeve, so you don't have to untangle them. You don't even have to rinse the inside of them. They've already been flushed. All you got to do is rinse the salt off the outside, let them sit in hot water for like 30 minutes, and they're super easy to load onto the stuffing tube. So, they're a couple dollars more, but they do make life a lot easier. Even in that, you'd still be able to take that out, rinse off the salt, let it soak, load what you know you needed onto the stuffing tube, cut that, put the rest back in the bag with the salt solution, and you'd be fine with those too. Casings do keep in the freezer. Just remember that as you're freezing something like that, it's a cell structure with moisture inside it, so your water expands when it freezes, so you may be weakening the lining of that. So you may be prone to some more blowouts, but probably negligible. Wouldn't be a huge issue. What kind of peppers and onions would you mix in with the Philly cheese brat seasoning? Raw, cooked, or dehydrated? You're going to want to blanch them at least, I would imagine. It's not as big a deal because those are going to be a fresh product. If you were smoking them, then I'd definitely tell you to blanch them. But honestly, you're going to cook them anyways. So unless you're looking for something real specific, like a specific taste as they're cooked, I'd just blanch them and throw them in. Or dehydrated is always a good option as well. Now that one does have a bunch of peppers already dehydrated in it. Your other option is just cook peppers and onions and put it on the side. And that's the great thing about a brat. That's one of the great things about a brat. Oh, Jim already bought a slicer. Awesome. Nope, not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But no, my favorite movie is Tim Stapleton said Christmas Story, and Tim Cahill says Silent Night. And so, Tim must have been listening. I don't know when we were talking about it, last live stream or last something. I get chills in church on Christmas Eve with Silent Night. It's awesome. But if I had to say an overall favorite, it would be Dominic the Donkey. I absolutely love that Christmas song. It puts me in a good mood as soon as I hear it. It doesn't get played a ton on the radio, but every once in a while. But if you go to YouTube, they have a bunch of good versions of it. So if you've never heard it, Dominic the Donkey is a great Christmas song.
By Wham? Dominic the Donkey by Wham?
No, not by Wham. John Belvedere says Die Hard, which is very much a Christmas movie in my mind. I saw a meme the other day that said Die Hard is a Harry Potter movie. It's people hiding from Alan Rickman in a tower. It's like, well, that actually makes a little bit of sense. Or you could say the Harry Potter movies are Die Hard movies. Huh. No, probably not. What is the thickest the 8.7 inch will slice? Now, the one I linked to, that's the 8 inch. The 8.7 inch is a different one, though I do believe both of their blades are technically 8.7 inches in diameter. It will go to 0 inches to 0.6 inches, so just over 1/2 an inch. Richard, you didn't miss much. We were just talking. We gave away a coupon code, which is good for 10% off, and that is 13 days 10. It's good for 10% off up to $100. It gets capped at $100. And that one is good for 120 days. So you can kind of put that one in your back pocket and use it whenever you want. For people who already have the Meatgistics app and are on Android, we're going to be sending out a message to all of them with a little bit bigger of a coupon code. But since we don't have it for iOS, I will also at the end share it with everyone else because that wouldn't really be nice of us. Cheech and Chong Santa. Looking for a recommendation for a mild breakfast sausage seasoning. Looking to make some links, but looking for a mild flavor similar to Johnsonville links. Austin, what do you have there? D. Cheezel says, tried using 13 days 10 and got coupon code is not valid. Let me just see real quick. Because I did test it before I came in here. If you're trying to use it on a sale item, like it is good on non-sale items only. So if you had like the Walton's 8-inch meat slicer and you try to use that, it would say that it's not valid. Yeah. Maybe that's all you had in your cart. Let me see. Because I added that Walton's 8-inch meat slicer in my cart, and it still did work. It took off 10% of the other product. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's good on non-sale items. But Jeffrey Pirrell's looking for the recommendation of the mild breakfast. Holly Regular is my favorite of the what you would call mild. H110C is my favorite, but that's not mild. As it compares to Johnsonville, I can't think of one that would compare to Johnsonville. I mean, the Holly Regular is by far and away our best-selling breakfast sausage seasoning. It is, in fact, usually our best-selling seasoning, maybe sometimes depending on the time of year, but we sell a ton of it, and for good reason. It is a very, very tasty breakfast sausage seasoning.
We've been doing a lot of recent ones with syrup flavor, right? Like the maple bacons and stuff like that.
Yeah, and for anyone who does imitation bacon, we did a fairly interesting experiment here the other week where instead of using imitation bacon, we used the Blue Ribbon Maple Bacon Cure, Sure Gel, Bacon Taste Booster, obviously Sure Cure, and just formed that into a loaf and smoked it, and that was really, really good. Could have used maybe like a little extra hit of the 100% pure maple syrup, but yeah, no, it was good. So, how long are natural casings kept in original good for? I believe it's either 8 months to a year or a year to, I should know that off the top of my head. All right, natural hog casings. And do we not say it on there? Refrigerator for storage. I have to find it on Meatgistics. I know I did a Meatgistics University one about this in sausage casings. So, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about when I say Meatgistics University, Walton's is our company. It's the retail portion. Well, no, it's everything. We created Meatgistics to be an informational site. So if you go over to meatgistics.com, we have lots of articles on information, everything to do with meat processing. For Meatgistics University, we broke it down into 7 categories, which is now 9 and probably will continue to grow, that we thought best kind of broke up meat processing. And we went through in class structures and started explaining things to the best of our ability so people could have a better understanding of what they were doing. That is probably going to be really important for a lot of people this year, as I'm assuming, a lot of first-time hunters based on the amount of guns we've sold, or not we, but America has sold, and the amount of licenses. We were lucky enough to have a guy give us his deer. We did everything. We hung it, we skinned it, we broke it all down. Then we came in here and we talked about what each roast, each cut is good for, how to prepare them, because there are going to be a lot of first-time people doing it this year or trying to do it this year. Plus, a lot of people who have hunted their whole lives and always dropped their deer off at the locker or might be in for a surprise depending on the processor. There's a lot of them who just don't have the capacity for deer this year because they've taken on so much more. So it's going to be a lot of people trying their first time. We will have that full video up fairly soon. Goal is by the end of this week, beginning of next week. It'll live a couple of different ways. We'll put everything up if somebody wants to watch an hour and whatever. And then we'll break it down into a couple easier ways so people can find what they're looking for a little bit easier. But, yep, I'm going to post a link to the sausage casings, shelf life, and storage. What do you mean fixed the coupon? There was nothing wrong with the coupon. Oh, well, I guess there was. David Crockett says, we'll have to send John a steel blue travel mug so he has a blue, blue, blue Christmas. Just buying Sure-Gel and Oh, gotcha. I see what he's saying. Okay. I wonder what I did wrong. Coupons are not my specialty. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. No. So Val says, not sure I can stay. No link to register for giveaway for me. If you're watching it on your cell phone, you have to find something that says view as desktop, and then it should allow you to do that. But all right. So first winner was Ronald. Let's see who the second winner is.
Did you hear what he said you did to the coupon?
No.
He said you set the coupon to be good for only sales items and not to exclude them.
Oh, that's all. No, I couldn't have because it didn't work when I had a sale item in my cart. So he's lying.
Are you going to disagree with the boss?
I am disagreeing with the boss. He lied. He's trying to make me look bad. All right, winner is Paul Oliver. Paul, let us know you're here. We'll let that sit for about 5 minutes. If he doesn't respond, we will go ahead and move on. Something I just did, and I've talked about this on a podcast, and I think a little bit on my last Meatgistics live stream. Hold on. So we made some snack sticks based on Willie's, and then we added pickled jalapenos that we had let sit out on a jerky rack for about an hour and a half first to let it drain as much of that juice and kind of get it to evaporate a little bit as we could. I then just chopped them up really fine. Looking back on it, I should have added them to the meat and ground it. And then I added some mustard seed as well. They're really, really, really delicious. Should have added more mustard seed though. The amount I added, you only get like one mustard seed every 3 or 4 bites. Reason we're doing this is we tried some that a guy brought into the showroom, and they were just awesome. absolutely amazing. Asked him what he did. He gave us like, yeah, I started with Willie's, and then I added, and he had like entire list of ingredients. I was looking through it. I go, that's not important. That's not important. So I just added the 2 things, and turns out there was something in the rest of that, because I will tip my hat to that man. What he made was better than mine. But I will make them again and make them better. I will not lose.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Neil, let me see how many of those XR50s I have.
Did he pick out a favorite movie yet?
Yes. You were out of the room.
What was it?
A Christmas Story.
Oh.
Basic, but
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
those are so good. I've always said no to like pickled jalapenos in cured sausage because I worry about it shorting out the emulsion. But I mean that just tastes so good.
I want that first sentence you just said on a T-shirt somewhere.
What is it?
I always say no to pickled jalapenos in a sausage. I'm afraid it'll do what?
Short out the emulsion.
Short out the emulsion. Oh man.
All right.
These great dinner party atmospheric conversations. Just, oh man. Don't get me started on pickled jalapenos.
I can do the XR50.
I actually thought it was actually pickles, not jalapenos.
You thought it was pickles?
Yeah. Because Colton
Well.
came in and was like, these are pickles and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't hear the jalapeno part of that sentence.
Nobody listens when he talks for the most part. You're not the only one. All right, XR50 remote barbecue and smoker thermometer will be on sale. There's not that many of them. Trying to decide if I should take $10 or $15 off. I will let Austin decide. Austin, well, no, I won't. I'm just making the decision. Taking $15 off. So those are going to be $74.99 for the next, I don't know, at least 20 minutes. Okay, it is public. Good. So yep, $74.99. They're usually $89.99. Taking $15 off them. It's $308 right now. I will say I will try to get that flipped back to normal price in about 20 minutes, but most likely it'll be on until the end of the live stream. Somebody reminds me. All right, we are going. What is this? No. Header top right. Walton's 13 Days of Christmas live stream. Another interesting thing that we're going to do as soon as we get those pellet smokers in is do snack sticks, summer sausage, jerky, try all of those in just a horizontal pellet smoker box. I mean, I've talked to plenty of people recently who've done it and said that theirs came out perfectly fine. No problems with a lot of smokers like that will get hot in certain areas. They have pretty strong hot and cold spots, but they said they had no problems with it. Plus how low you can get it to start. Most of those are absolutely low. So they're going to start as 150. But yeah, so that will be very interesting. I can't wait to try all of that. All right. How do we enter the giveaway? I'm on phone on YouTube, but also tried my wife's computer on YouTube. Clint, go to waltonsinc.com/live. To that. That will take you to where the giveaway is. You can also watch it there. Richard Butler says, I seem to always have problems with my snack sticks fatting out in my smoker. So can I smoke them for an hour or so and then finish them in the dehydrator? You could. It's not necessarily going to fix your problem. Fatting out tends to happen when we don't get enough protein extraction. Number one thing I'd tell you to do is add something like SureGel, Super Bind, soy protein blend, something like that to your snack stick. That'll help everything bind it together. Second thing is mix it more than you are currently mixing it. Just mix until it's super tacky. And if you like pick up a handful of it and you pull it apart, it should stretch with you. It should also stick all over your hands. That's the level of stickiness you want. And then another thing is I wouldn't pull it and put it in a dehydrator. I'd pull it and put it in a sous vide cooker or somehow get like a turkey roaster and get a pot of hot water. We took some venison summer sausage recently and we wanted to see what, so let me back up. Doing that is going to increase or decrease the time it's going to take you to get your product up to temperature, and it's not going to hurt the quality of it. From 140 to 160 in a smoker, that could be a couple of hours. I pulled some at 140 from our smoker, put them in water. They were done in like 25 minutes. So they jumped from 140 to 160 in like 25 minutes. Absolutely amazing. We've always said pulling it at 130 and putting it in there is the best temperature to do it, and I stand by that. We tried some at 100, some at 110, and then at 100, the difference between 120 and 130 was negligible. But the difference between 100 and 110 and 130 and 40 was significant. They developed much better smoke color, as you would anticipate. They also had more of a smoked flavor, and I just overall enjoyed the texture a lot more on those as well. So I would add them to 177 degree water is what we did, and we had perfect success with it. Now, I know what you're saying. You don't have a sous vide cooker, but I'm going to put one on sale. Let's see here. I am about to put one of our sous vide cookers on sale. There it is. Oh, wait a minute. Is it already on sale? It is not. Okay. The Weston Sous Vide Immersion Circulator, regularly $89.99. It is going to be $74.99 for the rest of this live stream. Nice thing about the Immersion Circulator is that doesn't operate by pulling water in, heating it up, and putting it back out. So when you're putting snack sticks, summer sausage, anything like that in the water, you don't need to worry about putting a vac bag around it. I know that sounds wrong, but I've done it quite a bit. Parksider is a well-known meatgistics guy. He's the one who kind of pushed this in, and he and I used to argue about that. But I have to say he was definitely right. And then thanks to Papa Sop for pointing out that the Weston one just has a little like blade fan on the bottom, propeller type thing to move the water around. So there's no chance of, well, there's almost no chance of casing, part of the casing or fat getting sucked into a filter, clogging your filter and ruining your pump. So with that immersion circulator, you can go and put it right in the water. And I will post a link to that right now. All right. Aw, what did that do? Why is that not pulling up? Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Control C, back and control. Okay, cool. I'm posting that link now. So $15 off. Cut your summer sausage and snack stick, all other types of sausage, cooking down dramatically from 140 to 160. Not only can that take a long time, but you can also overly dry the outside of your product easily at that temp, and this prevents that from happening. So I use a lot of mustard seed in my summer sausage, about 2 teaspoons per pound. Yeah, that would be close. I was told 10 tablespoons per 25 pound, and that just seemed insane to me. But yeah, no, there's not enough mustard seed in there for sure. I did not put the whole 10 tablespoons of mustard seed in. I should have. Sweet. Neil put his order in. Papa Sop, 1 teaspoon of what per pound? Oh, mustard seed in Willie's. Yep. 16-ounce bag of encapsulated citric acid will be back in stock. Let me see. Often with Excalibur, it's not a long wait. We have so many orders with them. Encapsulated. No, I'm not misspelling something. Oh, there it is. And you want the 1 pound bags. All right, let's see what we can find out here. There's projection tables. We're hoping to get enough in to fill all back orders tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then the next day. So should have them back very shortly. Often Excaliburs are shorter wait time because we have so many orders that come through with them. Okay. Did anyone see if the winner of the last one we called ever responded? Oh, Paul Oliver. Yeah, he did. He did. John, it's up about 8 comments from you. I'll just post it again. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Nathan's asking he'd like to use celery juice powder for curing agent, but don't want to purchase the bulk size. Anyway, we could offer a smaller size. I don't know if that's something Austin's thought about. I mean, it was initially in smaller packages, and it just kept going bad because we don't sell enough of it to break it into small packages. That stuff is very expensive. So, yeah, I don't think so, but we can talk to Austin about that. Yeah, that can work for me. I can give you a blue hat for guessing Christmas Story, but not an orange one. Tim, I'll get your information from, make sure you enter the giveaway. I'll just get your information from there. Ooh. Merry Christmas, Mark. All right, cool. So we're good on that. Tim Cahill, if you're still here, shout out if you'd rather have a blue hat or maybe a Walton's thermometer for guessing, being the first one to guess correctly. I'm just looking through to see if there's any questions we've mixed. I hope you guys have some saved up for Dylan, because he is very, very, very knowledgeable about this stuff. I haven't really seen any that I felt like he would be able to answer any better than I could.
Sure, dude.
What's that?
I said, sure, dude.
I feel like I'm just your guys' laugh track. Like, that's my purpose in here. John will look at me like, laugh at that.
Yes. Laugh now, London.
We need to be like the theater that, like, you can, you know, was it a Disney theater that they had it with, like, a mice ran by your feet? They would have, like, feathers tickle your feet
Yes.
or whatnot. We need to somehow make the live stream experience able for people to smell and taste whatever you're eating.
Oh, Smell-O-Vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the hope of the... Always heard about that in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
They were going to do Smell-O-Vision, but nope.
Didn't happen ever. Disappointment.
Your links aren't showing up on my chat page. I don't know what that could be other than a setting that you have set up to prevent external links. If you go over to waltonsinc.com and in the upper right-hand corner, type in this number, that'll bring you right to it. That's a tough one. Dean asks, are there any plans on doing videos like you did with the venison except with a hog, beef, or sheep? Sheep would be possible. I mean, hog would even really be possible. We almost did it on hog earlier this year. We had a guy who was selling them very inexpensively, but we just didn't have enough time, and we didn't have enough time to get everything we needed set up to get it done. But yeah, there are definitely possibilities. Beef is unlikely, just because it requires such specialized equipment. Not that we don't have it, but to use it for, you know, one thing and then have to sell it as used, probably not something we could do. There we go. Nope. You have to be at waltonsinc.com/live and hit that enter to win. There's 3 ways to enter. Man, I'm really hungry today. Okay.
Are you making like a Christmas meal this year?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Sorry. Nick Hall says, love you guys. I'm dipping out. There's a tiger on the loose. And you know what they say about those tigers? Got to keep an eye on them so they don't. Is that like the ... Is that like the tiger got him? Or is there a saying that I'm unaware of?
I'm torn between both those right as you're saying that.
I have no idea. No, I'll probably do fondue for
Oh, that's
Christmas
right. You're
dinner.
talking that
My
up
wife and I,
last
every
month.
year on our anniversary, we like to do cheese fondue. So we'll probably do it on this. This will be first year in quite some time that I'm just not going up to my sister's house. I don't want to talk about that.
Did you tell them yet?
Yeah. Okay. So someone's saying they don't think Paul Oliver was here. I swear I saw. Oh, Paul Fisher. Okay. Good, Brian. Well done. Not seeing the links as well. YouTube or Meatgistics. Weird.
Hold on, post a link right now.
What's that?
Can you just post a random link right now?
Are you looking on your phone?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Sorry about this, guys. So, is that showing up? Patrick is anxiously watching chat.
Well, yeah, I don't see it pop up yet.
Okay.
I've seen when you post people's names, though.
Interesting. Has YouTube stopped allowing us to post links in chat? Wouldn't make any sense.
But it's your chat. I figured if anyone could post them, it's you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly go through and I will explain where all the links went to. I sent a link to the Walton's 8-inch meat slicer. The best I can do for right now, guys, is I'll give you the item numbers, and then you can go to waltonsinc.com and enter them in the upper right-hand corner. That is the 8-inch slicer, the Weston Sous Vide. I think I already did this, but I'll just do it again. And then the other one was a link to an article on meatgistics.com that was talking about the shelf life and storage for casings. For natural casings, shelf life, you can expect to get 12 months from these casings, but they are a natural product. They're not manufactured, so that's not always 100% guaranteed. But if you freeze them, you can get up to, I think, 18 months. Just know that it's a hog casing, which is a hog intestine. They've been cleaned and processed, but they're going to have a smell to them. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the difference between a truly bad casing, one that is spoiled, and just your regular casing is significant. So, all right. So sorry about that, guys. I just figured that it was those people had some setting, but apparently YouTube has done something where we can't do it.
Maybe if you just don't hyperlink them, maybe add in a space somewhere and people could just get the idea.
Yeah. Okay. I could try that and see.
So where are you trying to send them right now?
Well, I was trying to send them to like the Weston Sous Vide page.
Oh, okay.
I
bet you if you just put in a space after that slash.
So I'm putting, you'll have to remove the space between waltons.com and then Weston Sous Vide Immersion. So do you guys see that? Or does it cut out the waltonsinc.com part?
It doesn't even show that you...
Show anything with a link they're cutting out. Interesting.
Well, just from you, I posted one, unless it doesn't show.
Al Schmidt says, what is the item number for the bags you can put out the patties into? They go in box, which I'm going to skip and use the other box. Patty box bag? What is that called? There was something like that. I have not thought of this product in a really long time. No, I'm thinking of the patty boxes. But then there's something that goes off it. Wow, this is tickling something from like 4 years ago when I was still working in customer service. So I could be way off. There might not be anything even close to what I'm talking about. 10-inch. Yup. Ooh, I was right. Very proud of myself. Cool. I'm going to post a link. Nope. I'm going to post the item number. Oh. Yeah. Elishman got it. And Dylan just arrived. Dylan is our application specialist and probably the person here who knows the most about meat processing. What do you need? Yeah, you can have this one. I'm fully charged up by this point.
USB-C.
Yep. Okay. So SureGel, I don't think is going to have any different than any of the other seasonings or additives. It should be around 2 years. Is that accurate? SureGel shelf life?
SureGel shelf life? It should say on the package if somebody still has the package.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's
probably
2 years.
about 2 years, like everything else. All right, so what are we looking at here?
I've been knocking all the questions out of the park. So there's really none that we're waiting for you. So have an open package of fresh collagen cases stored in my refrigerator since last year. Can I use them up this year or should I get new?
Yeah. I mean, if you start to pull them apart and they're really brittle, I mean that's the easiest way to tell. I
If
mean,
they're bad.
They're not like collagen casings don't like go bad like that. It's just a matter of are they dry? Do they still have enough moisture to them? As long as they have enough moisture to them and they're not crinkling hard as you pull them out, then they're okay to use.
Which is interesting because I had always told people keep them in a cool, dry-ish place,
Yeah.
air sealed if you can, and then if you open them and they're crinkly, try putting them in the fridge like for a day or two, and some of the moisture from the fridge will help. But if they've been in the fridge the entire time, I wonder if that changes things.
Yeah, I mean, just depends on what were they in exactly and that kind of a thing. So.
Interesting. So I was telling them, first of all, no, we have to revoke Paul's win and draw 2 more winners.
Ooh,
Revoke that win.
sorry for Paul though.
He wasn't here.
No.
So
sorry.
these people are both going to win some of this jerky we've been talking about making.
Okay.
And a bag of seasoning of their choice. All right, so I've got Dave Young and Donald Lum. Let us know if you guys are here.
Do you have like a list of the questions that I can look at, or is it a secret list?
There literally hasn't been any questions we
Well, I
can
just want to
answer.
make sure that way. I'm more of a visual person.
Like you can go to chat, but they're all just like
gotcha.
mixed in
Yep.
with chat. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So nobody can post links to YouTube comments or YouTube pages anymore. Interesting. They've like I kept posting links to things, and everyone's like, "When are you going to post that?" I'm like, "I already did." But other people are trying it, and nobody can do it.
That's interesting.
All right, nice, David Young and Donald Lum. Nice. Aloha from Hawaii. Forrest, sadly, no, you didn't win. I'm sorry. But we're drawing 2 more people. So for a quick cover to here, to where we are now, if you guys just joined us, we have 13 days 10 as a 10% off coupon code on non-sale items, capped at $100. Good for each person to use one time. We're making that good until a couple months from now, so you can kind of keep that one in your back pocket. There will be another coupon code coming out here. People who already have the Meatgistics app are going to get it just a little bit earlier. Darn, I thought I had that bookmarked. In fact, I know I did. Sorry, Dylan. Give me
So
one.
I'm late to the party, but what do we got? What is?
So these
going
are
on?
the Willie's with the jalapeno.
Okay.
And this is just a ham that we bought.
Oh.
So nothing that we made.
Nothing too special.
No, nothing too special.
Those Willies were good though. They had a good bite to them.
All right, so explain to me why. What is it in my mind that's causing such a problem with pickled stuff in a cured sausage?
What causes such a problem with pickled stuff?
Yeah.
Just the pH level of usually just vinegar. So
That's really all it is?
yeah,
Dropping that?
we're just denaturing meat when we start putting pickled stuff
Denaturing.
in.
I always say
Yeah.
short out the emulsion, but I mean denature.
I mean that's essentially kind of the same thing. It's very similar to it. So it's not much different. I don't know if that's necessarily the wrong terminology.
Okay, but kind of the
So.
same thing.
Yeah, but we're denaturing when you short out an emulsion. I mean that's kind of what they're talking about. You can do it in other ways besides just denaturing protein, though. So
Okay, so all thumbs are fingers, not all fingers are thumbs, basically.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah,
All right, so I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here.
okay.
What is happening? What is the actual process that allows encapsulated citric acid to work as a cure accelerator?
The actual process.
Explain
that
like
is-
you
that is
explain
on
like
the
you
spot.
would to a child. Don't
Mm.
use big words because you're gonna lose Patrick, and then he feels bad.
We already lost Patrick.
Huh, fair enough.
He's walking away from us.
Tyree emails. I have to leave the room.
I don't know if I could, without reading up on it myself, explain the actual process
Okay.
that just off the top of my head. Do I have info on it? Probably.
So here's how it was explained to me. Iowa short course.
Okay.
That
Go
was
for
like
it. I can probably tell you if you're wrong.
that was like the number one thing I wanted to learn, and they had a guy come in specifically talking about citric acid.
Did you ask? So you asked this question just so you could bolster yourself?
No,
'cause
no,
you
no.
knew the answer, and you were pretty sure I didn't.
But I don't know if I know how to explain it. Right? But I actually had to chase him down after.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I've been here 3 days. I want this question.
Yeah.
He said that you're creating an acidic environment. So like the bacteria, it eats by allowing things to come in through its cell wall. It stops doing that because it recognizes it's an acidic environment. So basically it just rapidly starves to death because it just won't multiply.
Okay. I'm not sure if that explains the question you asked, though. That's called. Is that the feedback effect? I'm trying to think. It sounds similar to it. That's essentially one way of killing bacteria, is
Yeah,
you
but it
introduce something to the external of the bacteria. That way, it basically shuts down because it goes, "Hey, I don't want to take this in,"
Right.
and then it kills itself basically.
Yeah, but it's not actually
Versus something that
it would
actually
work faster.
is like a bacteriophage that would go kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
it's
just
more bacteriostatic. Just kind of makes
Yeah, but you're right. It doesn't actually.
doesn't let them grow. It just stops the bacteria from doing more.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what you just described from the sounds of it.
Exactly, and that doesn't explain the function of how the cure is able to work faster
Yeah.
in that time. Interesting. I'd always just accepted that as the answer, and I was like, yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah. Let me
I
look
can
here
deal
real
with that.
quick.
Got to remember to always question authority.
You don't have a problem with that. See what I can find. USDA is taking a look at uncured products, though, if you didn't know that right now.
What do you mean?
So I think it's out in the proposal stage for questioning of the labeling of uncured products.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they going to pull it?
So, yeah, it's in the whole proposal stage where they seek comments and feedback from people. So it'll be interesting what comes of that, whether celery juice powder products will truly be considered uncured or whether they'll be what they should be as cured products. So I saw that was going into proposal the other day.
Huh.
I'm looking here and I'm not finding anything really quick. Like I said, I'm sure I have it somewhere that gives you a complete breakdown,
Okay.
but
Can we turn up Dylan's volume a little bit?
am I a little low?
Yeah, that's what.
Or is he just soft spoken? I am pretty soft spoken. Many people say that I'm not loud. I don't give my opinion very often.
I don't know who these
Patrick
people are.
Snickers behind the
but
camera.
It's as if he's not
These
there.
people are clearly crazy.
Well, I try not like yell on mic
Okay.
just because I feel like since I am normally loud, I try and not be too loud.
No, you're fine.
Like we don't have modern technology that could adjust for my voice.
I don't trust the chat's opinion on sound most of the time, so it's fine. Well, there'll be the random guy like, oh, sound cut off again. It's just like, no, it didn't, dude. no, it didn't.
All right, and I finally got that message sent to everybody who has the Meatgistics app. For everyone else, we will give it to you later. But if we had an iOS version of that app, I wouldn't give it out at all and just send it through the app. But since we don't, be fair. Are you looking up, trying to find that information?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find specifics for you.
Brian says you
like
sound
you,
just like Austin. That is insane.
I-
Two of you sound nothing alike.
I do sound very similar. Yeah.
Just in his first response, he said, yeah.
Well,
That's
okay,
exactly
they
what
use the
Austin
same.
Yeah, we use a lot of the same mannerisms.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially if you
But
watch
just
us
I
for
get what
long
you're
enough.
saying. Close your eyes just off of sound. You're like,
Absolutely not Austin.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Where is that?
I mean, it's been a long time since I've taken a chemistry class, so.
All right, well, we don't need to.
You asked for the exact specific, so that's what I'm trying to find. Trying to look through my school stuff right now.
Yeah. The amount of information that's available through your OneNote stuff is daunting. Actually,
Yep.
it almost discourages me sometimes because I'm like, oh, well, there's too much to look through here. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you realize that most of it's just PowerPoints, and then beyond that, like each PowerPoint's 5 minutes worth of discussion, and the PowerPoint's only thing it's doing is bringing back info that you already have,
Which
and being
I
like,
don't have.
oh, okay,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, when you don't already have that info.
It is very confusing. Also, my memory isn't going to allow me to retain any of that.
Yeah.
Yep, Blake, we will be bringing it out in iOS, hopefully in just the next couple of months. So Papa Sop says, bought the smoked meat stabilizer, heard about gassing out. What's the deal? So quickly, smoked meat stabilizer is a cure accelerator that we don't want to add to a brine because it will rapidly gas out. There was some debate here on whether or not you would actually see a cloud. I can confirm that you don't.
Shouldn't be like it's not gonna be like a big pink cloud or something.
I looked real, I was down at the level, far back, safety goggles on.
Golly, this guy.
Watching, and I couldn't even see a vapor cloud out of it. So doesn't appear to be the case. But yeah, it's just a cure accelerator. You can add directly to meat. You can even add it directly to meat and use water in that. You just don't want to add it directly to standing water. It will rapidly gas out. And then you're going to have a product that you think has a cure accelerator in it and doesn't have the appropriate amount anymore, and B, could be potentially dangerous cloud. So yeah, just be careful with that. Where do we find it in the app? No, I sent a alert, so it should be in your messages or your notifications. So it should be the title in there.
So I can't find anything on the exact chemical breakdown. I mean, so I guess after a long no answer, I mean, the best thing I could give you without doing more looking would just be, it's a reducer. So all it does is take NO3, reduce it to NO2, reduce it to NO, and then something in here that I found that probably I forgot about at some point in time, that speeds color fixation. So
okay,
I might have known that, but
that's exactly it.
But the decrease in pH speeds color fixation, and part of that is because it's reducing nitrate and nitrate, nitrite,
right,
nitric oxide.
Well, then that's it right there. If it is by itself, it's a reducer, so it's taking the NO and breaking it down so we get nitric
but I
oxide.
thought you were looking for specifically how that happens.
I mean, that might be interesting, but I also did tell you
that was way more in depth than you really wanted.
I told you to explain it like you would to a child, and I even feel like the term reducer was probably
reducing agent.
A reducing agent.
Yeah.
It's probably not necessary. I would like your thoughts on a knife sharpener. So my favorite knife sharpener is obviously the True Hone. Absolutely the best knife sharpener available. Problem is it's $1,400 now, $1,500, something like that. A good steel can really help you out with this. There are more, but there are two main types of steel. There's the smooth steel, which is just used to realign your blade. As you chop things, your blades will get pushed slightly one way or another, and that steel is going to push them back to center. And then there is a diamond, which is an actual sharpening steel, and will actually recreate an edge on your blade. Another good, easy way to do it, if you have knives that you're not too particular about, is something that is on sale, but apparently we're out of stock on right now, which is the Swiss Sharp sharpener. I wouldn't.
Is that the
hand?
Yeah.
Just the pull through thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use that on like knives I absolutely loved because it does pull off a good amount. But it does a good job quickly. But it's going to eat through your knives fairly quickly too.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the True Hone is really nice, but yeah, I mean, most people don't want to go out and buy a True Hone for the amount of sharpening.
Right.
My personal preference past that is just like a Norton multi-oil stone. I really like that. I think it's a knife really sharp. It's, essentially doing something really similar to the True Hone. It's just on a slow level. The point of a True Hone is for a processor that has a bunch of knives to sharpen all the time, that they can get it done really quickly. I mean, with just a Norton multi-oil stone, I mean, you can put a really sharp edge on something. But that's if you're actually trying to sharpen, not just realign the edge. So yeah, there's double purposes there. So there's do we still have that like pull through steel?
The red steel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we still have that.
So something like that combined with a Norton stone. Oh, that'd be the best. Because I'm no good at sharpening on a steel. I mean, you have to get the right angle, and otherwise you end up dulling it more than anything. You keep it the whole way and get the whole length of the blade. So,
but you have to do the same thing with a stone. You still have to keep that angle. You're just doing it, I guess.
Yeah, some of them even have the guide that comes with it too.
Yeah, I like that.
So you don't even. I mean, you kind of have a cheat there.
Right. Yeah, that helped.
I tried to get Jason out at Bridgeland Technical College, actually. Yeah, that's what they're still called, out in Utah. I tried to get him to teach me one time, and he was like, "Oh, you can teach anybody." And I go, "You haven't tried teaching me." And we spent 15 or 20 minutes when I was in there one time, and he was trying to teach me how to do it. And he was like, "Yeah, you're just not very good at that." I was like, "No, I'm not. For some reason, I just can't get down that motion."
Yeah.
I mean, I can slowly do it, but I'll never.
Yeah, never fast. Always slow. And I always just.
And it's still poor.
The best tip I ever saw was just keep your eye on the tip of the steel. Just hold it there. Just keep looking at that. That seemed to work. Like move just my wrist and keep my eye on that. Really
interesting.
Ryan Jones, who is Tex 77 on Meatgistics, wants to add very meanly, says, "Did Jonathan know how much sodium chloride to use per pound of meat?" Now, what he really means is sodium erythorbate. He's forgotten this story correctly, or he's forgotten the correct order of this story, but yes. He must remember that you're the one who found it.
Yeah, I saved lives that day.
You didn't save. You might have saved one life. There might have been one person here who
people could have eaten that.
Wouldn't have.
I saved lives.
Okay, so I was wondering the difference of using a kitchen oven versus my smoker to cook venison snack sticks. I thought of using liquid smoke if I use them in the oven. Thanks. Your thoughts on oven smoking snack sticks? Oven cooking snack sticks?
Yeah, I mean, in regards to, a home grade smoker, there's even in a home grade smoker, there's still a variety of options out there. But for the most part, your oven versus a home smoker, it's probably not set up for it, just in how it's laid out. Could you do it? Was it sticks or jerky?
Sticks.
Sticks.
So.
Okay. So, it's probably pretty hard to hang sticks in there. Could you coil them up? Could you lay them back and forth? Yeah, probably. So not too much there. The main thing is what's your low side. Most of the time, most ovens don't go below like 150.
Yep.
And we don't really want to start at 150. So then you have to like prop the door open, and that's super accurate to just, prop the door open at 150 and hope that it's the temp we want it to be.
Now, I will say, whether it's just by pure luck, but the first try on how wide we had to prop this door stabilized the top rack at exactly 120.
Well, that's pretty good.
It was amazing. I was shocked by that.
Yeah.
But no, outside smoker, you're not adding humidity to your oven. Like, that's not a good idea. Your vertical smoker outside, throw a water pan in,
Well, I mean, this is really going to be the same. People probably can't see, but I'm pointing.
There's the oven back here.
Yeah, oven. Okay. If you're going to put a water pan, it depends on kind of what you got inside the house. But it's not really that much different. Adding a water pan to an electric oven here versus the electric oven out there, unless you're putting it directly on those coils on that one you guys have. So either way, it's not like you're introducing humidity like the one we have in the test kitchen.
Right.
I mean, it's not
not
like that.
No.
So they're fairly similar. Yeah, where can you get on that low side? Once you get up through the cooking process, I mean, they're pretty similar. Just depends on your grade of oven. I mean, if you got the PK100, I mean, that thing does a really good job of accurately controlling temp and that temperature band.
Yep.
Versus, we've sold some other brands, like out the showroom when I was at the other store helping with that. One of those had like a 60-degree fluctuation in temperature. And that's crazy. Yeah. And so, how good is your oven at home? I'm sure every brand is different, has a different heat band like that. It just depends what that heat band is and what it goes up and down to. Yeah,
that's one of the reasons that just in general, I like gas better than electric. Because with electric, any smoker and like that, the band he's talking about is, if I set it to 140, it's going to go till it's hopefully just like 145, then cut off and hold it till it's like 135 and then turn back on. So it's going to be a band. It's going to be a wave. Gas, once you get it there, it's there. That's why
to a degree, but I mean, it depends too on what that gas oven, it still takes a reading and it knows what 400 degrees is and gives you hotter and less. So there's still a heat band, but usually not as extreme as electric. And anybody that doesn't understand what we're talking about, if you've ever used an electric oven or oven stovetop, just watch that burner. I mean, it gets red and glows and then goes back down because it constantly comes on and then goes back off and then on and back off. But I agree with you. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I hate in my house I have an electric stovetop, and I really want gas because it's even heat all the time unless I go change it, and I can immediately kill the heat, whereas electric you can't. So
it takes a long time for that to cool down.
Kind of some plus and minuses to both of them there.
We had a guy.
A lot less fires with gas, though. That's why we don't sell gas ovens commercially. So,
a lot less fires.
A lot more. Sorry.
Okay.
A lot less fires with electric ovens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that I actually can believe.
Yeah, not as many grease fires. So that's why, commercially speaking, on what we do on my side, it's only electric ovens because we don't want to see somebody's plant burn down.
That's a good point.
Because of our oven.
We're fine if your house burns down. It doesn't bother us at all, apparently. We've got a guy on Meatgistics who recently made some summer sausage, and around his cheese, he had some gray.
Some gray?
Some gray. Almost like the meat wasn't cured. Not green, gray. Almost like the meat wasn't cured around the cheese. Any ideas on what that could be? I remember...
It could be that the meat's not cured around the cheese.
Okay, but why would it be just around the cheese?
I don't know. I mean, where do you get the cheese? Is cheese from us?
I don't know. I assume.
Yeah. But. I mean, it could be that maybe wherever you got cheese from, really high pH on the cheese. And so maybe he put an accelerator in there, but then the cheese had a really high pH, so the meat around the cheese didn't cure because the accelerator didn't do anything around it.
Yeah, that's the best idea.
So, I mean, if it was greening, then I'd understand maybe a little different.
Right. You think that the cheese had basically gone bad?
Yep. Turn this off.
That's it. Okay. So it could be the pH of the cheese.
I mean, that's my wild first guess.
Right. It's a good one, though, actually. It definitely makes some sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ghost pepper high temp cheese is awesome in elk snack sticks. Good stuff with cold beers.
Mm-hmm.
John Belvedere says he modified his electric smoker with a PID controller, and it holds temps rock solid. Yeah, there was a bunch of people on, one of the advanced or whatever Meatgistics University videos that we did. A bunch of people responded with those PIDs, just loving them.
Yeah, I mean it's not impossible to get. Like I said, commercially the ovens we sell are electric smokers, and they keep heat really even keel. But you got to pay for that. I mean,
they cost more than a car.
Yeah. So, not that the one that he bought. I mean, but there's more than just what is temporarily cheaply available that gets thrown into an oven or a lot of the home smokers out there on the market. So.
When using an electric smoker, is it beneficial to start with water in the water pan that's heated to a temp above the smoker setting that you plan to use to preheat the smoker?
It's beneficial to start with water in the water pan.
So my initial response would be no. Most of the time we're going to want to start with the drying phase, so we don't want to add water right away. But past that, like just to say that he was saying like start with when you put it in, I mean, the hotter the water is, the more the molecules are bouncing around and vibrating, the easier it is for it to
get some humidity out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
but also maybe nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, especially at the start. I mean, yeah, we're trying to dry usually.
Yeah, usually.
Unless for some reason the sticks or summer sausage is already really dry. Everything that we run in the big unit, all of that stuff we actually run through a conditioning phase first, which actually pumps in humidity at like 80-90%.
Okay.
That way everything gets the same humidity on the surface to start with.
Okay.
And then we go into a drying. Reason for that is, and same when you guys do it at home. If you do something and it takes you 2 hours to stuff the first stick and before you get the last stick done, then by the time that you go to the oven, those already have different external moisture levels of that collagen casing. So
yeah, that's a very good point. I generally just throw them right into a drying phase, but maybe a conditioning phase.
yeah.
But without the ability to control, not even add, but to control humidity, is a conditioning phase even worth it?
I mean, yeah, then we go into, is it really worth it? We do that on the commercial level because we want to produce the same thing every time. Does it really make that much of a difference for you at home? Probably not enough for you to really care or notice, to be honest.
This is an odd question. It says, why and when would someone use sodium lactate? Does a person at home get any benefit from using it? That is from Austin Walton.
Asking hard questions. Where's that at? I don't see that.
It's up a ways.
Oh, it's up ways. Just trying to make sure I'm reading it right. I must be way up ways. Why use sodium lactate? Sodium lactate's main purpose is just pretty much it's a bacteria kind of inhibitor, mainly help with shelf life. For the home guy, the added cost versus what you really get out of it, probably, worth it if you want to. But most of the time, people that are using it, I mean, they're trying to do it for dollars. Obviously, at home, we don't want to throw away meat and throw away dollars either. Yep. So it can help with some of that safety. And keep bacteria from growing and help with color. But, you probably don't care too much about color. I ate some steaks the other day that were turning brown.
Right.
I don't care. They're fine. But if they were in the store, they would care about that. Yep. So same on something like sodium lactate, put it into some cooked bratwurst. You can't technically put it into fresh product.
Right.
But it'll help keep its color a little bit longer, give you a couple extra days on shelf life potentially.
Right. And
so all that comes down to profit that they're making. So on the home end of things, not a huge benefit to us. I'd be more careful about working in a clean environment, sanitize everything that you're using, all the surfaces, don't cross contaminate, keep everything cold while you're processing. As Kurt likes to say, the 3 Ks, quick, clean, and cold.
Yes.
So if you do those, then you're good.
Okay.
So, and it will help still. I mean, it's still there to help, but do you really need it?
Yeah.
It's not going to make a better product for you. It's just going to give you longer shelf life.
So not something the home guy really should be like. Why mess with it?
Yeah,
if you don't have to?
Not really.
No. This is an older one from Andrew Brubaker. Says, talk about the importance of temp and smoking process for snack sticks to get good casing connection to the meat. Now, the most important temp there that I have always believed, at least, is the down. How quickly you can get it down.
To get casing to stick to the meat?
Yes.
A lot of that comes down to when you're mixing the bind that you're getting.
Okay, so protein extraction. Why is that? Is it because if you don't get enough, it renders the fat out and that's going to separate it?
Correct,
okay,
yeah.
So that's the obvious one.
So when you're heating up, if you heat up too fast, you run into that potential issue and you won't get a good bind on the casing.
Right.
And then, if you don't mix it enough, you could not get a good bind on the casing. Sometimes I've seen it where if it was a little undermixed, like in a summer sausage, or excuse me, a little over mixed, then it bound too much to the casing, and the casing peeled away with the meat.
Oh, interesting. Like as you're biting into it, it's pulling more of the casing? Is that what
Well,
you're
you want to bite into the summer sausage.
Oh,
with the
summer
casing
sausage.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about snack sticks.
Oh no, sorry, summer sausage.
Okay.
But yeah, then if you underbind it, then the meat itself doesn't want to bind together, and sometimes that will cause it to stick to the casing, even though it's undermixed.
Okay.
So it kind of, I've seen it happen a couple of different ways in something like summer sausage, but summer sausage casings, or fibrous casings, collagen casings, I mean, they have or are protein kind of on them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be some sort of binding action there, especially on the collagen that we want to happen. If you're using a plastic casing, nothing you have to worry about because it's not going to bind anything.
The other day we did all the venison snack sticks or summer sausage for that guy. I put 2 in a one of these big containers we have with water and some ice, and the rest I put into a true ice bath, like 50-50.
Yeah.
And then peeled them and went around and like showed customer service and I'm like, this is the difference between ice bath and cold water. Like the cold water one, there was meat all around the edge of it. The ice bath one, clean as a whistle. So yeah, that definitely does make a rather large difference.
Yeah, you have to remember that you're taking out meat that's, especially summer sausage. I mean, there's a lot of core temperature held in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it into cold water, tap water that feels cold, I mean, it's going to warm up the water around it so fast that, you got to have really cold temperature or have moving water. So we can take cold water, like we do in there. It's not an ice bath that comes out of the smokehouse. It's just cold water, but it's constantly moving.
And it's got a fan blowing it, right?
And it's got a fan blowing it, but actually a fan turns off. So it's just mainly, if you had a garden hose with cold water, you could, as long as you trust that water source is clean, you can shower the sticks that way. So,
all right, what is the best way to get my pellet grill to a lower temp when making snack sticks? Tried the open lid, but it's hotter at the bottom and stays way cool. Yeah, I don't think there is. There may be some sort of deflector you could get that's more efficient down at the bottom of the thing, but even then, I mean, the problem with that type of pellet combo is that your firebox is right in the middle. And no matter what you do, that's your main heat source, and any airflow is it's naturally happening. You can't control it, so it's just going to always be one specific way, unfortunately. Once we get this, Camp Chef we're going to buy a pellet grill, and we'll be able to sell it online. So we'll do a bunch of cooking, snack sticks, summer sausage, things like that on the pellet grill, because that's what a lot of our customers will be doing. So we'll try to learn that as best we can. Snack sticks again. How important is an ice bath at the end of smoking? We just went over that. Very, very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Another important step that a lot of people leave out is you can't go right from the ice bath to packaging. They have to sit out for an hour, right? At least.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't want humidity in the package. Mm-hmm. So if you go package snack sticks either hot or right after the ice bath, and I didn't know those were for eating.
Of course they're for eating.
If you go right from being hot when they still have heat in them, or if you go from the ice bath where they're physically wet on the outside, and now you put them into a vacuum package, or heck, even if you're paper wrapping them, if somebody does that.
Paper wrapping snack sticks.
Yeah, I've seen it. You're trapping that humidity in there with it, and what went in as a good snack stick, just like this snack stick here that you all can't really see, but it's nice and tight skin on there. If you go out, take that stick out after that, I mean, that meat will almost all just come right out of that collagen casing.
Yep. Yeah, if you allow moisture in there and let it sit in there, the casing kiss it goodbye.
Yeah, especially if you freeze it. Because all that water that's in there, especially all that free water, is going to form a lot of ice crystals unless you have a really good freezer and it doesn't form a lot of ice crystals.
Right.
Faster we freeze, less crystals. And all those crystals will kind of splinter that casing away from the meat, and it'll just bubble right off.
One of the questions we get occasionally on Meatgistics, which I believe, I answer in a way I know to be true, but I'm wondering if you have a different opinion on it. We do get questions from people wanting to make a more wrinkly snack stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always tell them they can not get as good a protein extract. I mean, you're going to fat out. That's how you're going to do it. Or just dehydrate it heavily at the end.
Yeah. I don't know how you would force it on a home smoker.
Okay.
I mean, one way would be don't ice bath, and that'll help wrinkle it.
Okay.
If you want a wrinkle, probably people from up north tends to be more popular the farther north you go to have a wrinkled snack stick.
Drier too.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm dry.
Yeah. So we can force that in commercial ovens. I can run the exact same sticks on 2 different programs and just, here's a smooth one, here's a wrinkled one, but that's because we have humidity and airflow and that type of thing. Probably the easiest way off the top of my head to force something like that is put way more water in than you need.
Okay.
You have to mix the heck out of it to make sure that you get enough protein extraction so you don't
With
fat
all the
out.
extra water,
yeah,
yeah.
we don't want to fat out, and then just dehydrate it a lot.
Okay.
Because we want to, essentially we want the meat to be this big, and then have 40% of it, that's an exaggeration,
Sure.
be water, so that when it forms, it starts to cave in and forms creases in there. So like when we look at and then we also want to dry the outside fast. So if you can put a fan in there, that would help. If we can dry the outside faster than we dry the inside, it's not really a good thing to do.
Dry the outside faster than the...
Yeah.
So you're creating case hardening, basically?
Yeah, essentially. So like if you ever look at an old world style salami,
Okay.
the ones that don't have any creases around the outside are actually a lot better made than the ones that have hard creases. And that's because it dried too fast through that point,
Okay.
and it caused it to cave in.
Okay.
So
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
It makes sense, yeah, because it dries too quick and then nothing else is behind it, so it's going to cave.
So
Okay.
so a lot of times people think that the dried salami that's hanging there that has all the cracks through it, that's the good one.
Yeah.
It looks cool,
Yeah, but it's not.
but it's actually not. It's actually harder to get a nice even shrink throughout that whole drying process. It didn't happen too fast, versus you probably went really fast just trying to get it done. In the one that had lots of cracks and crevices all throughout it. So
That is very interesting. I also didn't see it in the Android app notification. Okay, then I will post it here. I also drew another winner while we were talking. So Larry Drummond. Larry, let us know you're here. And then the 15% coupon, capped at $100, good today only, is live 1221. So that's live 12/21, today's date. So I will watch chat closely as I anticipate numerous people having problems with it. I did test it and it worked, but it is also not good on sale items. I'm using your corned beef seasoning twin pack with 10 pounds of goose. There are 10 1-pound breasts. Do they need to stay in the solution for the full 12 to 14 days?
I've never made corned beef.
Why is it
Let me
called
read
twin
that
pack?
again.
We have 2 things that are twin pack, and it always confuses me.
Should be a twin pack because one of them's seasoning, one of them's cure.
So they're just like any other
Pretty
seasoning.
sure,
They just
yeah.
call it a twin pack.
Yep, 10 pounds of goose breasts.
I've been using pork belly for my 30% with venison.
Oh, we didn't answer this guy's question.
12
12 to 14 days here. Do you have that item pulled up?
No.
I can look at it.
No, do you want me to get you the item number?
No.
Okay.
I get it.
Jim, we're going to go to yours when we're done with this.
So. Yep.
They're drinking.
Cover pickle.
Sure.
Cover pickle for 12 to 14 days. If it's a goose breast, it's thinner than traditionally the different cuts we're going to use for corned beef. So probably not that long, probably half of that. You can make the assumption that you get about an inch a day of penetration. So, or
A full inch?
close to.
Okay. Is that because the goose breast is a little less dense than beef or ham?
No, just in general for meat products. We get
I've always said
quote unquote and close to an inch a day.
not a half inch a day.
It's probably a little more than a half inch.
Okay.
But that would, if we said an inch a day, that'd be like, most bacons would be 2 days when really it's probably like 3 days. So it's probably closer to 3/4 or something like that. But rule of thumb. So yeah, probably a lot longer than you need. I'd say half that. Because turkey goose breasts are not very thick.
David Crockett, who is another guy, said, I use the Walton's corned beef seasoning and brine for every single bit of the 14 days, then rinse and soak it in cold water. But I'm assuming he is talking about a more traditional cut.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that in goose, though?
Yeah, probably not. All right, snack sticks again. Do you recommend a type of pork fat? I've been using pork belly for my 30% with venison. So higher back fat is going to be better. It's a little bit harder. It'll hold its shape a little bit better. But most of back fat has the same basic no taste and creaminess. So if you can get fat from the back, it is better for sausage making. But, I mean, right now, go with what you can get. So do you agree? Disagree?
Yeah, no, that works well. If you're short, one of the things I'll do if I can't find a good fat source for something, especially if we're making something with beef, it's really hard to find something to add to that that's a good fat source just from local grocery store. I'll just go over to the bacon and find that really cheap bag. I forget who makes it, of like the bacon ends, and it's like pure white. Just go for the cheapest thing on the shelf for bacon, and that's usually going to be the fattiest bacon that there is. Very little lean. That's why it's cheap, because it's bad hogs. Yeah. And so just take that and use that for your fat source.
Cool. David, one other thing I want to say while we're talking about goose, I bring it up every time it comes up. Those goose pepperoni sticks that we made were some of the best things I've ever had. So goose works really well with pepperoni.
I don't remember getting to sample those.
That was like 2 years ago. Remember? No, you did get them. We did them.
I don't know. Classic John brings.
We did them with cellulose casings.
Samples.
What do you recommend for venison snack sticks that will smoke? That we will smoke. Also, do snack sticks get smoked? Yep. Snack sticks get smoked. Not necessarily all snack sticks.
If you want,
people do them in an oven, but yeah. What casing? The 19 or 21 millimeter collagen for the home guy is the right way to go. These are 21. They're not too clunky. I mean, they're a pretty perfect size, honestly.
19's most popular by far and away. 21's a little bit thicker, a little bit more of a hearty snack, almost a meal replacement.
Close.
So.
And they're a little bit easier to stuff.
Yeah, they'll be a little easier.
But Brian is right. Also, use Willie's.
Yeah.
It is.
So, somebody back above was asking about how much water to add. And so kind of on that note of, easier to stuff, like if we add, how much water should we add as a good rule of thumb to products? Only as much as we need to stuff it out. Especially on things like summer sausage and snack sticks. I mean, we don't want a lot of water in those. The only reason we really add water is because most hand crank stuffers can't handle going down to a small diameter, or if the stuffer can handle it, you got to strong arm it the whole time. It's just a lot easier on processing if you add water, because we don't have high dollar equipment that just shoots it out without any water added to it. So yeah, if you're looking for a good rule of thumb, as little as you can,
okay.
less than 10% for sure, would be ideal. I think most of your guys' recipes, you say like 2 pounds for 25 pounds,
in that range,
something like that.
Yeah, I like to tell people if they're using a binder, the max I'll add is 1.5 quarts.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
and if you're doing something like a fresh sausage and you just want to have a really juicy fresh sausage, use carrot fiber, use super bind, and then add 10% water. I've got a guy that makes a really good flavored cured cooked sausage that is like 20% water. And he uses super bind in it, and you would never know it, but it's amazing. And you go home and microwave them, and they're still juicy.
Does he have to label that as water added or something?
Does he have to, or does he? I don't think he labels it as water added.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure what the regulation is on that. But it also might just be a custom exempt guy. He's not inspected
Doing
for
it,
it.
yeah.
So some of your regulation changes on what's required there. But great product that I think is actually made better by how much water he puts in it. Just because when somebody takes it home, does he make more money? Yes, but when somebody takes it home and they throw it on the grill to reheat it, they don't, even if they overcook it a little,
Yeah, it's still fun.
Still super moist.
Yeah, that's the hard one always with chicken and hams. Like you see them adding water and you feel like it's cheating, but it's also because people don't know how to cook.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's chicken's the one. Ham, yeah, we get into some hams that are just purely to extend them out, and there's no benefit to that because it's going on a sandwich anyways, and we don't need 35% added water in a ham.
Right.
But yeah, I mean almost every chicken. I think the last time I went to the store and found non-injected chicken breasts, they were those Blue Tray organic ones. They were
so
like
expensive.
$7 a pound.
So expensive.
And I had needed them, so I bought them, but I was
Right.
just laughing to myself the whole time. Like, people think that just because it's not injected, it's so much. Now that was also organic, but yeah, the ones most of the time they're injected on the low side 6%, most of the time about 12%.
Yeah. Very low side.
And it's for the consumer's benefit. It's not just to, it's more profitable for people, but it helps consumers out on the back end that they don't think about because they don't understand, what the purpose of all of that is. If it's just water, but most of the time it's water with some phosphate and that kind of thing, so you're getting actual retention there.
All right. I just drew the last winner.
Uh-oh.
That is Jeff Packett. Any advice on making hog jowl bacon? I've never made hog jowl bacon.
Make it like normal bacon.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do
Nothing
any
special.
No. Nothing really different. Probably your cooking might be a little bit different for jowl bacon, but I mean, however you're curing it right now, it's really not going to change.
What did you think of that? For anyone who didn't hear it the last time we were talking about it, I made some imitation bacon recently with regular bacon seasoning. Dylan did the conversion for me on how many pounds I should use to get the right ingoing parts per million of nitrates, and then taught me how to do it. What did you think of that? Did you think it was as good, better than the imitation bacon seasoning?
And we did ground informed bacon.
Ground informed. Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really good.
No.
But didn't you also added bacon taste booster?
I did.
Yeah, which I think helps.
Okay.
I think that made a big difference because you did that on the snack sticks too.
Yeah.
Right, recently, and I don't know why we never thought of that before, but I mean, I think that made a huge difference
on the bacon snack sticks. Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Since we haven't done the the other ground informed jerky, like we haven't done imitation bacon with, have we?
Oh yeah.
To my knowledge.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh,
I add it to everything.
Oh, okay.
That was the first thing that was the thing that made me consider adding it to the snack sticks.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever had it, so I don't know if I have a reference point for comparison.
Okay. But yeah, no, we use the Blue Ribbon maple bacon cure, and we'll do a video on that so everyone can figure out how many pounds of seasoning to use pounds of meat. But yeah, it turned out really, really good. The bacon taste booster initially, I used to tell people not to use it if they were dry rubbing. I'd still tell them not to use it if they were dry rubbing, but I used to tell them to not use it if they were, making imitation bacon, anything like that. I'm like, no, it's designed for a specific purpose. Well, then I tried it that one time in imitation bacon. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use
I
it
was
in
completely
everything.
wrong.
This is great.
Yeah. No, that turned out really well. And in fact, yeah, I think I like it more, but I also like maple bacon. And so when you give me more maple bacon flavor, then I'm probably always going to choose that.
You go to that one.
Yeah. Like when I help judge the cured meat contests, it's like if somebody has maple, like for me, like I'm like, oh, well, they're obviously going to be at the top. And other people are like, ugh, another maple. And I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, no, maple's good.
I like sugar. So, a little too much.
First time making snack sticks this coming weekend with Willie's Seasoning. Purchased 25 pounds of 70-30 ground beef. Do I need to mix in any pork butt with this, or is the fat content correct? So your fat content is correct. You're not going to hurt yourself adding in pork butt because that's going to be right around that same-ish fat content. But yeah, no, you're good to go either way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if anything, you're on the too fatty side. You definitely don't need to add more fat to it.
Right.
If anything, get a little leaner.
But yeah,
We'd rather see a snack stick around 80-20. But if you go 70-30, that's fine. Most of the stuff we make here is 70-30 with pork.
around that. Yep.
So just make sure you get good protein extraction so you don't fat out, because there's, that's a good amount of fat for a cooked product that is like that.
And then Richard also, if it's not too late, I really would recommend some sort of binder. Sure Gel, soy protein blend. I mean, Sure Gel is the best, but I made smoked salmon using maple cure, and after I let it dry, I coated the top with everything bagel seasoning prior to smoking. Turned out great. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love everything bagel seasoning. Do you remember when I kept trying to make everything bagel brat?
I don't remember that.
I tried like...
Yes, I remember that.
I tried so many times to make an everything bagel seasoning brat, and it just won't work.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't it?
I'm just not adding enough.
Couldn't taste it, yeah.
I guess I'm just not adding enough seasoning.
Well, like how much? So like, I mean, traditionally those don't have like salt in them, or like a lot of salt. The ones that like my wife's bought at the store, they're like, it's like using the DOS salt free, and so you can add a lot and it's not gonna do anything till you add salt.
Never considered that.
So if you didn't add salt, that's probably your first
I know this
misstep.
Has salt in it, though, but okay. All right.
But then also, if you just went to the store and bought something off the shelf,
100% what I did.
you have to remember that that grade of spice is not the same grade as most of the Excalibur spices. And so if you put half a pound into 100 pounds of just spice, not salt,
right?
Of Excalibur, you probably need 1+ of whatever else you bought. So you may have been way under. I mean, how much were you adding?
So I added a whole jar that was probably about 8 ounces to one.
Like those little ones, like pepper shakers,
yep.
that are like that big around.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not 8 ounces. No way.
How big is it?
That's probably like a 4 ounce, like a Walton's Excalibur shaker.
No, it wasn't that
that's
big.
Like an 8 ounce bottle.
Okay.
Generally speaking, depending on density of product.
Well, I added that to a 5 pound batch, and you could hardly taste it. And that was that was the second one. The first one I added half of that to it, and it was like I didn't season this.
Yeah.
I love everything bagel seasoning. It is the best thing about the last 5 years in my mind.
Why don't you just? I mean, you could ask for product development on that.
Oh, we should do an everything bagel
You could
seasoning.
do it in everything.
We should absolutely do an everything
bagel
seasoning.
bratwurst. Bratwurst? Snack stick?
Bratwurst.
Probably bratwurst.
Yeah, I don't know how that would be in a snack stick.
It was weird. I remember the second time we tried it, you saw a lot more particle definition from the seasoning, but even still that imparted almost zero to, no flavor.
Like literally zero flavor. You're seeing the pieces in there, and it's so annoying because you're like, all right, I've got a bite with a bunch of stuff in it, and I just had nothing.
Nothing.
How many pounds of wood chips are needed in the PK 100 to smoke snack sticks? So the PK 100's got a good sized pan. What the poundage is going to be dependent on a few things. When I'm doing snack sticks, I just fill it once. The only way I'd refill that smoke pan is if I was doing something super long like a ham or bacon. Other than that, just fill it. I like to add a little bit of water to it. Not everybody does. And just let it go. That's all you'll need is that one sawdust pan. John says use at least 25% fat, so the 30 should be okay. Yep, 30 will be fine.
He said he's got Sure Gel already. Okay.
All right.
Yep. He's good.
Absolutely solid. So the one thing I keep getting asked more and more is dry curing sausage.
Yeah.
Explain to them how difficult it is.
I
know what you want to say, and don't say that.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that hard. The problem is, you have to be able to ferment bacteria. That's the hard part. So if
sorry, not for us to do, for them to do it at home.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So for the most part, once we get past that, the first part, actually processing the sausage, not super difficult.
Nope.
Drying, a lot of people can get
do,
by. with something they can do at home, depending on where you live. Maybe your basement's a good, setting for that. But really that fermentation's the hard part, and it's the most important part because it's the part that's going to determine whether this is safe to eat or whether we're having a 2-bucketer. So that's the hard part. Can you get that high humidity at 75, 80 degrees and 90+% humidity and hold it for 2 days or 3 days? Or if you're going to do a little faster fermentation, can you get 110 degrees at 90+% humidity and hold that? So that's the hardest part to it. The rest of it, it takes time. It is an art more so than just doing normal snack sticks or summer sausage. And you'll see that that return in the final product based on, we saw it the first time we did it where we had somebody else come in, help us tie everything, and we weren't paying attention to what they did, and they didn't wash their hands as well as you and I did. And the first spot for mold to grow was that person's glove marks all over each of the sausages.
So we had to take every one of them out, and I rinsed them all.
And we had to rinse them all in vinegar and scrub them all.
Oh.
And that sucked.
That did suck.
So,
that was not fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get past that fermentation, most people can probably find a way to keep relative humidity and temperature ranges for the drying process. But fermentation's the hard part. So, and like I said, that we got to drop below that 5.3 pH, I think is what it is, in our certain degree hours. We have fairly inexpensive pH meters. I would encourage anybody wanting to do it, if you're actually serious about it, is get a pH meter.
Because what are you going to do with that one? I mean, you have no idea, right?
Hope.
Yeah.
So this is the way Granddad always did it, and so that's great. And he possibly didn't get sick, but why? When it's so easy to get a pH meter for, I don't know, $180, $200 maybe. Yeah. Like I said, if you're serious about it, I mean that'll be well worth it to you.
Yes. John's saying, do you like the Umai dry bags for cured sausage? I haven't seen them used for cured sausage. I've seen them used for dried steak. We looked at them a couple of years ago and then again, but it's just difficult to make that work, to bring them in.
Yeah. I've never seen them used. I've heard about them being used for cured sausage. But yeah, I've never seen one used. I don't know what exactly. I would think that you would still have to have a way to ferment though, because they'll help to dry, but it's going to help control how much humidity and moisture it lets off at a time, right, which is all controlling the humidity does. We just don't want to case harden the outside. So their bag might help with that, but I got to imagine you still have to have a way to ferment.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you can do some homemade setups and do 100% humidity, basically water bath.
Yep.
I've never done that. I imagine it's not fun to do. So you could do something kind of like that, but I don't know how well that turns out because I've never done it. But that's the hard part of old world dry cured sausage.
Yes. Yeah, and
then clean.
Absolutely. But then doing something like, and when we do it here, I'm going to use the Eller.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and tell you, hang it in your basement for, I can't tell you that. I can tell you have to have it between this humidity and this humidity.
Yeah.
And then it's that's not, you could read that in a book. It's also not like I'm going to create a little mock-up Eller cabinet, like was what they'll have to do at home.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I want to make more dry cured sausage because I absolutely love it. But no, prosciutto is the next thing we need to do.
I don't know when we're going to do that because.
What about duck breast prosciutto?
It takes such a long time. Yeah, we could do a smaller. We'd be better off doing like a Lomo first, or like Copa, Capicola. Something like that. Yeah. That's a little bit smaller than going straight to. And if you want prosciutto, probably the closest thing that's easy is a Lomo. Similar. They're both pretty lean.
Yeah. It's not as good though.
So
I want prosciutto that I can see you through. Put it on my face like Hannibal Lecter and
Well, you can make lomo like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
but
still
we did
supposed to
lomo.
slice all of that stuff. When did we do lomo?
We did lomo.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yep.
That was really salty.
It was very salty.
We didn't do that well.
Eh.
It was okay.
It was like the
edible.
first thing we ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we made bets on that too. I can't remember what it was.
Best lomo ever was Rick at RJ's brought some to convention one year, and it was just like eating butter.
What is it? Where's the RJ's?
In Wisconsin, I forget where they're at.
Okay.
Oh
All right.
my.
So
That was good.
I will not ask you to call, but Dylan gets to travel to some awesome areas. Utah, bunch of great places. Do you have a, I don't want to say favorite route.
Like favorite place to go?
Yeah.
Oh, Utah for sure.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Just because of the scenery?
Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the weather is like amazing. You know, they get snow, but to clear it off. But most of the year, just amazing weather. Even in the summer, it's not terrible. And it's like 5 minutes, you're into the mountains, and then in 5 minutes, you could be back out of the mountains. Yeah. It's not like in like Colorado. It's like if you get an hour into the mountains, like you're not coming back out of the mountains for a while. But Utah's like, oh, here's a mountain,
Bouncing
and you
it
just
out.
like drive around it. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
and
it
there's
is
so many,
gorgeous.
there's just so much different scenery across the entire state. There's one drive specific that says you go north out of Salt Lake, and then you go northeast to Logan, Utah, and
Okay.
you drive through a pass up there, and there's a lake up in the mountains, and it's just like you pass this lake, which is a cool view, and then you come up, and then it's like one of those spots where they cut through a mountain instead of going around it.
Mhm.
It's just a smaller little peak, and so you like go through, and then all of a sudden just like huge open pasture beneath you.
Yeah.
Coolest view in the world
Yeah, that's
that I've
cool.
ever seen.
Yeah, that was one of the most surprising things. Like, I had no idea Utah was that gorgeous when we drove through, when we did our big parks thing. It was just unbelievable. Sorry, we got off track there. I'm using my PK100 for the first time today, and it's taking very long time to get 225 degrees. Any tips? First question would be, are you at 1,200 watts or 600 watts? Make sure that's up at the 1,200.
Kurt?
Second thing would be close your dampers. What's up?
I was just gonna tell Kurt that he's just rude.
Utah has dead horses. I don't
It's an
understand.
inside joke,
Okay.
and it's just rude
That's
of
not
him.
Nice.
I think he has work he needs to be doing instead of giving me a hard time about dead horses. Could somebody go check on him? Patrick, you want to go check on him and tell him he's got calls to make?
Don't do that. I'm going to see the habanero barbecue when it'll be back in stock. I would guess just a day or two.
Oh, no, we're out of stock? No way.
Yeah. But it's Excalibur, so it'll be back quickly.
I don't have Sage open.
I do. Well, I'm not looking on Sage.
How do you go?
I'll go through
On the biz?
reports. Yep.
Oh.
And then
What? You have to show me what you're talking about.
No.
That you can see when it comes back in stock through there?
well, I go to SIA.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Projection. All right, so the habanero barbecue should be back in stock. Well, it should have come in today, so it should be here tomorrow. Like I said earlier, luckily we place so many orders with Excalibur that there's almost always something coming in the next couple of days. So we will have that one in just a few days. What's up? Are you not seeing the same thing?
I'll figure it out later. I was just trying to. I don't see the same page as you.
From where? Go to home? Like the
Yeah. No, I'm on the item.
Okay.
I don't know. Figure it out later.
I have special access.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm looking through to see if there's any other questions we can get to. You guys are full of great ideas today, so I gather you're smoking with Apple. Okay, they're talking to each other. No, TJ, we do not sell an everything bagel seasoning yet, but
Yet.
hopefully that will be changing soon. All right. let's go through follow up. If I order the habanero barbecue today with 15% coupon, will it still apply when it ships if it back orders? Yes.
Yes.
Yep. As soon as you check out, it'll be there. Will Surgel be? We're out of Surgel?
Golly. Wow. I'm going to go old school.
The 1.5 pounds are available now. That might be more than you need, but if you make enough sausage, it'd be worth it. You can buy it now. I'll post the item number to the 1.5 pound bags at Surgel. You said you were going to go old school?
Yeah. Because apparently I don't know how SIA works.
All right. Let's make sure we've got all the winners picked and announced. Yep. Jeff. Well, did we ever see Jeff Packek?
I don't know.
I don't think he ever responded.
I don't think he did.
No, he never responded. All right. Repick his win.
Scrolling through just to double check.
All right, Gary Ty. Gary, let us know you're here. You got a couple of minutes. If not, we will go ahead and... Because I think that is the last... Yep, we've talked about everything else. I'm excited for this new type of jerky.
We'll see.
Do you have a recommendation of what seasoning I use? I mean, it'd be fair to use bold since that's what I've mostly used. I've done other seasonings, but I've mostly used bold.
And you're just adding brown sugar.
Yeah, brown sugar and water.
Yeah, I mean brown sugar and bold would be good. I need like a. You don't have a book.
What do you need?
I'll just go to the website.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Normally, they just flip open the catalog and figure it out.
Oh, nice. Gary Ty is here. Congratulations, Gary. So for anyone who won today, I'll email you tomorrow to get what seasoning you want. But I will wait until I have the jerky to send along with it so that we're not shipping things twice. So hopefully it'll be this week that I'll make it. But I most likely won't ship it till next Monday because it's a short week.
You could try doing like a just the honey jerky if you want to get different. I was gonna say sweet teriyaki.
We did sweet teriyaki jerky with pheasant. It was unbelievable, but
yeah,
I don't think I've ever used it outside of that.
I'd still add some more, just a little more sugar to it probably, but not a ton.
Oh, so you wouldn't add the
pretty heavy
18%?
pack. I mean, it's already a pretty heavy pack of.
Okay.
So this 25-pound unit's 3 1/3 pound.
Wow.
So you're
That's got a lot of
already
sugar
at
in there
10.
already.
Yeah, you're at 10 pounds for 100.
Yeah.
Whereas bold is 2.
Okay.
So you've already got an extra, it's essentially 8 pounds of sugar in there.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe add 5 pounds more brown sugar or something.
5 pounds for
100.
100.
And get you close to that 15 mark.
Oh, yeah. Gabriel, I read this earlier in my head, but didn't talk about it out loud. Sorry to bring it up again, but would love to see a snack stick sampler pack, 5 different seasonings for 5 pounds worth. So while that is a great idea, the reason that we're able to get Excalibur level seasonings at the prices that we are is because we're selling you the same thing that the commercial salesmen or commercial processors use. We've looked at having them break that out into smaller batches before, but the cost of doing that would make it just where it's not worth it. You're going to save a couple of dollars to get half the seasoning or less.
A fifth.
Yeah. Right, yes, a fifth. So it really just isn't worth it. I do like the 5-pack idea. I just don't know how it could be done.
Yeah.
But it is a good idea.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, 25 pounds of sticks can be a lot, but if you vacuum seal that seasoning, it's good for like 2 years. So
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest thing. Is just break out what you need, and don't use it. Or I do it in some different things, and I get that it's not quite the same. But in arenas outside of processing, where I'll go buy something knowing full well I'm not going to use the rest of it, and you know what? If that's what I use, that's just kind of my increased cost of, going out and buying a 20-pack of arrows when I'm never going to need a 20-pack of arrows, but that arrow that I want has 20 in there. So, that's kind of just the increased cost of it. So.
Fair enough. I do like the idea of the mix pack, or because then you can throw a bunch of things together. And it's easy to do with shakers. We do it with shakers. We do it with Excaliburs. We have a whole gift set of them. But for package seasoning, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, so just break it out into smaller packs, and then like John said, just seal it back up, keep it in a dry, dark place.
Yep.
And it'll keep for a good while for you. Make sure the bag's a nice thick bag, barrier bag. The bags that Excalibur seasonings come in are meant to be barrier protection. So a Ziploc bag is not a good storage solution. You lose too much. There's way too much oxygen permeability in that bag. We want it to be a nice airtight type bag. So you don't have to pull all the air out of the bag.
Right.
The main thing is to limit the amount of air that can go back and forth between the bag.
And why is back and forth more important? Is it because it's bringing in moisture?
Could be moisture, so there'd be moisture permeability, but the main thing is you're going to lose your aromatics and pungents as that oxygen rate transfers back and forth.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, do you have anything else you wanted to school people on? Did you have some super interesting facts?
I just came for you.
Came to help. I appreciate it.
Anything you needed.
Ooh. That's a standing offer for any time?
That's not a standing offer.
I've
just
wanted
today,
to get you back on the podcast.
I felt bad for you.
That was fair. I looked pretty pathetic.
You gave me those sad
puppy
dog eyes.
Dylan, I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, guys. So thanks so much. Again, you've got the coupon code we gave you earlier in your back pocket. That's good for 120 days. Live 1221 is good today. 15% off. Caps at $100. Merry Christmas, guys. I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful entire holiday season to try to make up for the struggle bus that has been 2020 up to this point. But thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Encapsulated citric acid out of stock any day when you get more. Yes, we looked it up earlier. It should be 2 days from now. We should have it back. How many pounds of sawdust fills the PK100? That changes depending on if you're using like a real extra fine. But if you get a 2-pound bag, it's going to fill up that, no problem. All right, sweet. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.